How did you learn how to do all of this?
Man, listen, YouTube University, you know what I'm saying? But no, but you know, all jokes aside, man, my father-in-law taught me a lot of stuff.
Nice.
The farmer that we met, you know, when I worked at UNC Chapel Hill, you know, with whom I'm still connected to, taught me that. And then just cold calling farmers. Like I literally will go through, search the internet, find farmers who are selling things that I wanna grow or growing things that I want to grow. And I call them and I ask them questions, and you'll be surprised at how many people are willing to pick up the phone and talk to you.
That's right.
And there's some people who don't have time, right? You know, or they'll say, you know what, I can't do it right now, but how about tomorrow at 5? You know, and I say, okay, cool, I'll lock you in. And I call them and we're on the phone for an hour talking about all of these different things. And there have not been many people who have not answered questions that I've had about things.
Nice.
Got it, man.
Yeah.
What do you find is the most creative way that you're using this land in order to make profits or even grow crops?
Yeah, I think, you know, the growing in containers, like that's been, you know, a real treasure, man. Like I've been
Like
very
these?
Yeah, well, no. The plastic
Those,
containers.
got it.
Yeah, like those containers there has been, yeah, it's been wild what we can grow there. I mean, we've grown, you know, peach trees, you know, in pots, you know, and have picked peach trees out of pots. Now, of course, we had the larger pots, and you know, you got to get a dwarf variety tree in order to grow them in the pots. But we've done that, and we ended up selling those trees or whatever because people wanted to offer us significant money for the trees.
Tell us how much.
Yes. So I sold the trees in the pots, you know, for $60.
Exactly.
You know, the established trees. And so
What's the ROI on that like?
well, if you buy the tree for $5, $10, you know, and you sell it for 60, you know, you're making pretty good profit there.
Flipping trees, man.
Yeah, exactly. No, legit. I bought a pawpaw tree, you know, for $125. It was established in a pot, you know, but it was already fruiting. So I got 2 pawpaws in the ground, you know, and this is the third year, and I haven't done anything. And I was like, I want to try one, so I bought one for $125. So that's why I was asking you, do the plant sell for more or do the produce? Because on one hand, if you can learn how to propagate, you know, sometimes it's almost better if you're worried about profits to propagate more.
Well, some plants have this propagation prohibited, you know, policy on them.
For sure.
And so we have to be very careful, you know, what we propagate. So when we buy from local farmers, so we buy a peach tree from Johnny's farm or whoever, we make sure that it's not prohibited. And we do propagate those peach trees and propagate those plum trees that we get from the local farmers and turn that into profit. Or we plant them in the ground. I mean, we've got some propagated trees over there, the plum trees, you know, that you guys saw earlier. There are 2 or 3 plum trees that, you know, came from propagation. In fact, that one right there, the second one on this first row here, was a propagated plum tree that produced 3 plums this year.
Yeah.
You know, that's 3 more than, you know, we ever expected. It didn't cost us anything. We bought the original tree and then we propagated it. A couple years, grew, and here we are. So
as a beginner, how much, well, if I'm looking to sell crops, should I be expecting a profit right away? Or does it take time to become profitable doing this?
Nah, you can, if you do it the right way, you can expect a profit right away. Because if you, let's just say you buy a peach tree at the discounted price of, say, $15. Right? And you are familiar with the propagation process, and you cut 15 cuttings off that tree, right? And you create, you know, 15 smaller peach trees, and you put them in starter pots, and you sell those trees at $10 a pop, right? You spent $15 on a tree. You spent nothing to cut and propagate them. You might have spent $4 on a bag of potting soil to put in those little pots. And then you sold those 15 cuttings at $10 or $15 a pop. So you have definitely made profit then, right? And so you do that, you know, 10, 15 times over, you're looking at a pretty good profit. And then also, you know, when you're purchasing your original seeds, you're making sure you're getting, you know, heirloom varieties, you know, which you can take the seeds from those. And so that's how we, you know, make a lot of our profit as well. Is, you know, we grow, you know, we might, you know, spend $4 on a pack of tomato seeds, and you get 100 tomato seeds, and we plant, you know, the tomato seeds, and then we, you know, extract the seeds from tomatoes that have fallen on the ground or that have split or that birds have pecked or whatever, the ones that we're not going to eat. Is and we just extract those seeds out of there. Now the process is a little bit challenging because tomato seeds are very tiny, and so you got to take them out. You know, you put them in a bowl, we wash them off, we pour them on a napkin, let them dry, and then you peel them off the napkin and you put them in an area that's, you know, cool and you know, not very humid. And you know, you've created thousands of seeds. I mean, we literally have thousands of tomatoes and
Yeah.
thousands of watermelon seeds just from a pack that we spent $3 or $4 on.
For sure. So at the end of the day, if someone wouldn't have showed you how to do this, or they wouldn't have shown you how to do this, would you be this far ahead right now?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think that, but you know what? I'm an avid learner. Like I like to learn. I ask a lot of questions. I do feel like I would have found a way and figured out a way to get to this particular point. Maybe not at this point that we're at right now, but because I do ask a lot of questions, because I do build a lot of real authentic relationships with people, I think that eventually I would have gotten to this point here.
Yeah.
Because I just like to eat, right?
Right.
I like to,
Yeah,
to
right.
eat food. I like to see my kids happy. I like to see my kids with a little money in their pocket. And I just like the peace and the therapeutic benefits that this provides. And I don't think that I've found anything, beyond my family, right? My family is my peace, as well. You're saying, but just having, as a man of color, having time to myself, out here in the farm, at times, and just spending time with nature, there's nothing more therapeutic than that.
It's amazing because I was just telling somebody something similar to that yesterday, where coaching is super important, right? So having somebody show you how to do something in order for you to skip the learning curve can save you a ton of time and money. But it's not like the coach is actually out here doing the work for
Yeah.
you. You still have to put in the work.
Yeah.
You still got to do the gardening.
Right.
And that's how you figure even more stuff out, like pruning the trees and what to, snipping the garlic and stuff like that. This is probably stuff that you can learn on your own in time, but it has to start with somebody showing you how to get it done. I got a question, because I've seen oranges without seeds and fruits without seeds.
Yeah.
Are those real fruits, or
So,
is that real fruit?
well, some. I'll tell you, our grapes, for example. So I never believed in like seedless fruit, right? I see
Yeah.
seedless watermelon on sale, seedless whatever, I ain't buying it.
Right.
Yeah, that's what got to me. I'm
Yeah.
like, how can a fruit not have seeds?
Correct.
Right.
So what ended up happening is we took cuttings from our grapevine,
Uh-huh.
right? And we put the cuttings inside the pots, and of course it flowered, and we ended up planting it in the ground. And the fruit that it produced was seedless. And I said, wait a second, how you produce seedless fruit from seeded fruit? So of course my 15-year-old, he's doing his research, and he said that with grapevines in particular, you get a seedless grape from 2 seedless cuttings. And I had no
Wow.
idea.
Yeah.
I mean, 2 seeded cuttings, I'm sorry.
I was always
Yeah.
mind boggled by that. I always wanted to know, how do you get seedless fruits? I always thought they were factory grown.
Oh,
Yeah,
for sure.
I'm skeptical, man, for sure. But these Awori Satsuma have very few seeds.
Got it.
To my understanding. So I can't wait to pick my first orange off of it.
Yeah.
See what it tastes like. It has what is called zipper skin. So it's like a tangerine where you're not having, with the orange, sometimes that skin
Yeah.
is tough to get off. With these,
Yeah.
you just stick your finger in there and pull
Feel.
back, and that skin is off. And guess what we'll do with the skin?
Compost.
It's gonna go right in
Right in
there.
the compost.
Right? Dig that trench, put it down in there. A lot of people let their compost break down in the compost bin. Like, you don't need a compost bin. We have a trash can that we drill holes in, and we put food scraps in there. We put the grass clippings in there. And if we want to expedite the process, we just dig a trench in the garden rows, and we
Put it
just
in
plant
the
the
ground.
food right in the rows and then cover it
Yeah.
back up.